Mother of God.
What's going on, guys? Louis Street Front Wheel Drive today. Today's menu. I hit the light by accident. So, in following of the video that I made the other day, I know I said I was going to put a couple videos together that I had to make another video, and I decided to scrap all those videos because they were just all over the place. I was literally trying to show and teach at the same time, and I couldn't do it. I have a problem with trying to record and teach at the same time. But basically what I did was I took, this is the clutch that I got into. I got an action clutch. This is a stage 4. The I believe it's metallic pads on it from Action Clutch. It comes with a notchy bearing, pretty cool, and I also have the pressure plate, and they also give you a nice keychain thing here, which is pretty cool. It also came with a couple stickers, but they're on the Civic already. I put them on. A new pilot bearing for the flywheel. I'm not going to be using it. I'll just keep it in the stash or stuff, because I have I never put these in. I mean, I rarely run into a problem with where these are bad. But I have the pressure plate here. It comes with a little bit of instruction here, and that's that. It's a stage 4, like I said, Action Clutch. I really wanted to get a name brand clutch this time. I didn't want to mess around and go the cheap route, which is another XCD. The XCDs, I already went through 3 of them. The third one is in the car still, and they're just not working out for what I'm doing with the car, which is beating on it. Okay, so we're going to try an Action Clutch stage 4 this time and see how that goes. Set aside for now. But back to what I was going to talk about. I got the bearings in for b18. They're King bearings, King racing bearings. They're the special, but not the regular King bearings. They have like a triple layer or something like that on them. You can see that they're black actually. They're heat treated. They're supposed to be the next best thing or whatever it is. But I got those. I measured all the clearances with plastic gauge, and they were really dead on. I was really happy. No complaints. So I still have to hone the block, but I'm not going to focus on that right now because I'm going to focus on getting the transmission back out. What happened with the transmission was I ended up getting it together. I got the disc back from Jeremy. I got it together, put it all together, sealed it, and I actually put it in the car because I wanted to just throw it in. This was prior to getting the clutch, and I threw it in, and at the last minute of me putting the axle in, I realized that the gear inside of the differential was actually backwards. So needless to say, it all has to come back out, but I wasn't completely done with the job, so there's not that much to do. So we're going to take out the transmission, and I'm going to change the clutch while I'm in there, put the Action Clutch in there, and get the transmission back apart, and differential apart, and change that over, so that way I can go in nice. Yesterday, me and Jeremy were actually here, because Jeremy blew his engine on his Durango. This is a 4.7 Dodge Chrysler engine. We ended up doing a timing chain job on it. There's 2 timing chains on it, so we had this all apart. And on top of it, I snapped the spark plug on this one. I don't know if any of you have had a spark plug snap on you. It is the most aggravating thing that could ever happen to you in the automotive world. We ended up having to go to Harbor Freight. Luckily, they had an extraction set for I think $10. After drilling and a couple drill bits, and after a couple hammers of broken chisels and broken screwdrivers, we were able to get the ceramic around the electrode in the middle broken up enough where it completely just pushed itself into the cylinder, I know that's bad, but I'm going to tell you what happened. We didn't worry about that for now. It all went in the cylinder. We were able to hammer the extraction bit in there and get the spark plug out. With a magnet, I was able to get the electrode out of the piston hole and get all that, most of the stuff out. He's still gonna, what we're gonna do is get a stop vac and just put a small hose on it and put it in there and try to get the rest of the stuff out. But no big chunks, actual big chunks went in there, so I'm not worried about it. If there is any little bit of ceramic or anything, we're gonna send it. It's gonna blow it out the exhaust anyway. That's what we're hoping. So we're not gonna worry about that. So we did a time and change job on that. We did a whole bunch of seals and stuff. Right now I'm gonna focus on getting the Civic done, getting the transmission out of that, and I'll be back after that. What's going on, guys? This is Lewis with Strictly Front Wheel Drive here. Today I'm just going to be doing an explanation as to what's been going on. The B18 EG is all set. So today what I wanted to do is just basically a rundown for my new viewers. I got a couple of new viewers in, and they might be wondering what my build consists of. I have a 95 Civic EG hatchback. VX model. It has a B16 completely stock engine in it, stock intake, stock internals. The only thing that's not stock in this head is the ARP head studs that were thrown in it by me. It was from HMO Motorsports. I did not buy the engine. This car was actually sold to me by a family member. And I just added everything to it. I added the blocks. This is a block fuel pressure regulator. It utilizes the stock fuel pressure regulator. You have to cut the top part off, and it bolts right on. It's been working beautifully. It also comes with the block fuel pressure gauge that mounts onto the stock fuel filter. I have braided line to and from all the way back. I have a eBay turbo setup. The only thing that's not from eBay is these exhaust pipes. Obviously I made those. We have a Skunk 2 radiator here with the Skunk 2 hoses. The eBay parts, the intercooler I bought separate. It was just the intercooler with the piping. Just a regular old small intercooler. The turbo is also from eBay. There's no play on it. I've used it a lot already. It's been taking beatings left and right. There's no play in it. If you watch one of my previous videos from before, you'll see that I made some modifications to the top and bottom flange for the oil drain. You can refer back to that to see what I'm talking about. It was a theory of mine that so far has been working. Like I said, just watch the video and you'll find out what I'm talking about. So, Wastegate, I had a problem with. It's basically the only problem I had with the eBay parts that I bought. This was the eBay EMUSA one. This is basically a replica of the tile sport that's on there now. I know this because I was able to use the screws because I lost a couple of them. And if you take it all apart, it's the same diaphragm and all that stuff. So I don't know what's going on there, but it started sticking on me, and it was making me overboost. So I had that one laying around from a part out that I had went in on with the team, and we ended up I ended up just throwing that one on, and it's been working perfectly. So that's basically the only part that I had to change out of the eBay parts that I bought for the turbo kit. The next part I'm going to have to replace is this blow-off valve. I can't seem to get it to work. I'm not sure if it's the flange side, something going on in there, or I just didn't put it on right or what, but I've tightened it, I've loosened it, and it's solid. It does not want to release the pressure. Every time I let off my foot off the gas, I hear the turbo fluttering. So that is a sign that this bad boy is not opening, and the sound is always coming from over here and not over here. So I know this isn't working for some reason. I'm not going to waste my time trying to figure it out. I'm just going to wait till I get that welder this winter and cut the flange, weld the V-band flange on it, and basically just get a name brand blow-off valve. But everything else seems to be working perfectly so far. The other mods that I did to the car was I just, not really a mod, I painted it. It was just a cheap Rust-Oleum paint job over the winter that I did. I have a video on that. I had made this plate when I was living at the other place. I have Lexan windows all the way around. The stickers that I put on it. Every time I get a part, these are YNS Lexan, actually in Pennsylvania. They were real good. They hooked me up on a price. Every time I get a part, I just throw a sticker on. None of these are sponsoring me, but I just like the way they look. This was the actual Action Clutch, the recent one I just got from that kit. But the car is actually painted all the way around. This wing I actually made myself. I went to Logan Steel and I got the aluminum from there. They cut it to size for me, and I just hand bent it myself and cut it out to size myself. It didn't come out perfect, but it came out pretty damn good for me. I always have a problem with this rivet right here. I have to put a bigger rivet because it always seems to keep popping out on me. Other than that, the car is pretty gutted. The only thing I have in here is the seat and the bar that I made myself with my dad. Goes onto the stock seat belt pillars there, the bolt hole. There's just a bar I bent with a Harbor Freight tubing bender, just to have a harness, somewhere to attach the harness, seatbelt harness bar. The seat I actually installed myself. I have a video on that. But other than that, the car's pretty stripped. I moved my ignition switches and all that stuff up here. So the stock ignition switch no longer works. This is a stadium brake I made myself. It's out of a Subaru Master Cylinder. It's a Subaru Master Cylinder that I used. I just had it laying around, so I decided to make something up. It works pretty good. It's functional. Tested it at the track a lot of times, and it's been working so far. Got my gauges up here. The car does start. Got fuel, power. See how my gauges come on. I still have the clutch sensor installed, so I have to push it down. And I just have to hit this switch up to get ignition power. I still have stock lights. My fuel gauge doesn't work at all. I've been meaning to do an S2K cluster on here, or try to find another cluster. If anybody knows anybody that has a cluster for an EG with the fuel gauge working, with the RPM gauge, send me a message, please let me know. I'll buy it off you. And that's that. Not sure if you can hear me talking or not. It's a little loud. Got a couple stickers over here. This is from the last time I went to the track when I broke the axle. We have the team sticker here. We call ourselves NGR, Next Gen Racing. Just turn off my lights here. So yeah, this is basically the car. The next upgrades I have to do is basically the insane shaft axles and the car set hubs to get 36mm axles. and then that's pretty much it. I did get the action clutch installed. The action clutch actually came with a keychain, came with a pilot bearing for the, I don't know where that went, and it came with a clutch tool. This clutch tool actually worked better than any kit I bought from eBay. Not like it's a surprise or anything, but it fit real nice. I was able to get the transmission in the first time, real smooth. Came with a couple stickers that are on the car, like I said. I did drive it. It drove really nice. The pedal feel felt just a little harder than the XTD did. I also have the XTD clutch here. If anybody wants to buy it, it's still good. I thought the clutch was roasted, but it was not. I also have the pressure plate there. The stage 4. If anybody wants it, let me know. Just send me a message. We can work out a price. My problem was not this bad boy. It was the other one. It was the one that goes under the clutch pedal. I think that's the clutch master. That was leaking a little bit of fluid, so every time I would push the clutch in, it would aerate it, and that's why my pedal was always spongy and would get all confliculated at the track. So I changed that out. I changed the slave. We bled it here, and the clutch is right back to normal. It's beautiful. It's perfect. I just have to tweak it just a little bit. It's just a little. The pedal is just a little too high for me. But other than that, it's working great. So try to tweak that a little bit, and it'll be fine. The transmission's actually working beautifully. That part on the transmission on the diff is beautiful. The axle slides right in. Doesn't bind up or anything anymore. Alright guys, I'm back here with the engine here. Before I start honing, I always like to get a little quick measurement of at least the bore. I don't really care about tapering out around really too much. Well, I do, but not as much as I do is care about the actual cylinder bore size that the engine has at the moment, because that's going to tell me whether I need to get it bored out or not. Obviously the tapering out around is going to tell you that as well, but I always like to get at least the cylinder, the true cylinder measurement before I start honing, just to be on the safe side. In case I find that it's out of spec, then I either know I got a bad block, or I could potentially send it to the machine shop and get some work done on it. Alright guys, so I got the block here. I want to show you guys the clutch holes that I use. 3 1/4, 180 grit clutch hone. Get them off eBay. That's basically what I use there. I use an adjustable drill where you can adjust the speed on it depending on how tight and loose you adjust the trigger here. So I don't go too fast. I just go pretty decent speed. It's all by ear. I really don't know how fast it's going. I just try not to go too fast and too slow. I use one of my old vape bottles to put oil in it, 10W30, and I just lubricate the cylinder, squeeze them in there, make sure it's well lubed. You can use penetrating oil, 10W40, PD blaster, all that good stuff. Get them on the bead. Want to make sure it's lubed up pretty well. And you basically go to town. You want to start when you're going in, and you want to keep it spinning when you're coming out. You don't want to go too far down or too far up, because you end up hitting the bottom caps here. I go a couple times and I check it. You're only deglazing it. You're not taking any metal off. Just trying to get a good surface again, so that way you can have a clean mating surface for the piston ring. Sure, there's videos, tons of videos on this, on YouTube. When I didn't know how to do it, I was looking it up on YouTube and I found videos, so pretty sure you guys can find videos as well. So now what I do is I just clean up the cylinders a little bit, just to keep it cross-hatching. See where I'm at. I need just a little bit more. So again, the old 10W30 oil. Move in there. If it was wrong, it moved. Go to town again. You got good 45 on that. You're looking for a nice 45-degree angle cross-hatching. But I can see it still needs just a little bit more, so I'm going to go again. Show you guys real quick what it's supposed to look like. You see the cross hatching there? How kind of overlaps. You're looking for a 45 degree. The camera really doesn't pick it up too well. You see that cross hatching there? That's what you're looking for right there. All the glaze is gone. A nice clean surface. Beautiful. So I'm just going to keep going at that. I'm going to hit these other ones a couple more times because I just noticed today that this is actually the next day I stopped. I started and stopped yesterday. I had to go to Glenn's party. So I did these three really quick. But looking at them today, they just need a little bit more. I kind of rushed them, no big deal, and we're going to get to that. Alright guys, so I'm all done with the block right now. I got good cross hatching on all of them. The only thing that's left now is to wash the block. I'm going to use just regular dish soap and hot water. Get all that stuff out of there because on the bottom there's a lot of the grittiness from the honing, and you don't want any of that stuff in the engine because it'll destroy your bearings, it'll destroy the cylinder walls really fast. So you gotta make sure you clean all that stuff out of there, get as much of that stuff out of there as you can. Get it cleaned up really well, and then I'm just gonna lube up the cylinders with oil afterwards. That way it doesn't rust up on me and until I'm ready for the pistons. But I still do have to get the pistons and rods in. A couple more parts I have to order. So this is gonna be it for this video. Like, subscribe, make sure you like and subscribe. If you got any questions or anything at all, just comment down below, message me, stuff like that. So I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it.